できた？
Hey, and we're live.
You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast, a podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rob.
And it's been a minute, everybody.
Welcome back. Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
And so we've had a little bit of a break. It's kind of been, I was expecting a lot of stuff coming back, but it's been a little slow, not too slow, but we do have quite a bit to talk about. So let's jump right in it and talk with Andrew. See what he's been up to.
Yeah. So I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll with beating a lot of games. Games like Dragon Age Inquisition, like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Finally beat it. Mass Effect Andromeda, finished that. Horizon Zero Dawn, got to that. Thank you, Rob, for that.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow.
That made
Finishing
it a
all
better
those
place.
games.
God of War, finished that too. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I'm on Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, that'll stop.
Right. It was
that
pretty
progress
awesome.
Yeah,
Just looking at the map.
It's a
back
long
up.
game. I actually also finished Assassin's Creed over the break.
Oh, awesome.
So.
And then
What
of
you, Rob?
course, then of course, like Discord stuff, lots of updates. Community's still growing, and happy about it. And really glad to be back on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have everyone back. Andrew, you missed the last one that we had where we kind of recapped our 2018 favorites and our
It's been even longer.
2019
For
things coming up. So maybe if you get a moment or two, you could talk about the games that were big to you in 2018 and what you're looking forward to in 2019. Of course, after I'm done giving my updates. So
Go for it.
yeah. So that said, I've been playing games that never end. I was playing some Monster Hunter on Xbox with co-oping with a buddy. So it's been a long time since I've been able to just take time and kick back and spend 50 minutes hunting monsters uninterrupted. So that was really fun and different and a good time. So I'm really looking forward to playing a little bit more of that. But it seems like it's probably never going to really end because you can continuously grind these things until forever. And then the other thing is we've been doing a little bit of PC first-person shooter co-op right here on the We Talk Nerd crew. Sorry, Brandon, not necessarily you, but
But once you,
maybe we'll get you in for Deep Rock Galactic.
What is that?
That is a dwarf simulator.
it's true.
Basically, you've got a group of up to 4 dwarves that get dropped into these outer space mines, and you basically have bugs and objectives that have to be overcome and taken care of, and it gets like crazy hard and just panic inducing, and like the lights go out and all sorts of weirdness. But It was on a Steam sale, and some of us took a look at it and said, "Hey, let's give it a shot and just see if we'd like to, get into playing a co-op game together." And we had a ton of fun playing this, and Andrew's part of that. And of course, he didn't mention it. So
I was just gonna mention that in my update for 2018.
Maybe a little Swedish style hurt.
Oh boy,
or Swiss style hurt. And then and also Vermintide 2, which is a game that you and I had both been kind of championing, that never really took off in our group, and seems like it might be kind of a keeper now. So lots of great ways to play that game for free through Xbox Game Pass, or Steam had it for like $12 over the Christmas time. So if you were thinking about getting it, you probably already did, and hopefully you're enjoying it. How about you, Brandon? What you do?
Yeah, like I said, I got into some Assassin's Creed and finished that up. I didn't do 100% run. I think I finished around 90. There's a
lot of content.
That was just doing the main like Odyssey quests. If you don't know, there's like 3 main Odysseys in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I finished those 3 branches. And I haven't touched DLC, which is out and rolling right now, and all the side quests. And then, sort of like how Andrew was saying, he got in the Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda. I opened up my Steam around New Year's time, and I'm like, what do I want to play right now? And I seen The Witcher 3, a game that I'd never finished, but I had 80 hours in, and said, you know what, my New Year's resolution is to finally finish this daggum game. And so I've been playing a little bit of it. I'm getting close to putting about 20 hours into it. I started going back and forth. I started a new game. And I'm like, so much. I went back and played my old one. And I'm like, there's so much I don't know. So I went back to the old one. And I'm like, no, I can't play this for 80 hours in. Went back to the old one again. And so I've been playing off that one. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish it here very soon. And then maybe play a little Kingdom Hearts for the 3rd one comes out. That way I'm in that mindset.
It hasn't actually come out yet. I don't know if you can really keep counting on this. You say it's coming out in 2019. I'll believe it when I see it.
We are only a short, I think, 20 days away as of right now for it to release, and Rob is still skeptical, which is
still skeptical. I just don't see it, guys. I don't know. They've been talking about this for a long time.
They have. It's like
with
the
all the Anthem news and Division news.
Oh yes,
this got lost for me. And when someone said it's coming out this month, it's like, what?
Next month, yeah.
How did I not pre-order this? Like, no, it was Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom
Hearts. Yeah.
So that's surprising.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Anthem and the Division coming up here very soon. So I'm excited
to the big release on Friday, the 11th. Big Switch release.
Oh man, what comes out Friday? Switch.
That's one of my news things right here, but I'll put a little teaser in the podcast that there's a new game coming out, first party Nintendo game coming out from the Switch on Friday, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
We'll get to that. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into some of this new stuff Rob's teasing us about.
Do it.
And yeah, we'll go ahead and start talking with some Switch stuff with this other game that's been probably released a couple different times, but Dragon's Dogma, The Dark Arisen, which I think is like sort of like the remaster with an expansion type thing.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like the remastered. I can't tell you how Dragon's Dogma actually ended. Did you play through it all the way? Either of you?
I played it the original Dragon. I didn't play Dark Arisen part. I played the original one, and it just really wasn't for me.
Okay.
I did.
But you didn't finish. Did you get to the part where you are traversing through the stairwell up and down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was going on?
Nothing. It's just Capcom random stuff, but you face bigger and bigger bosses. It's an endless loop.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, run in here and fight, and then come out and fight some more. It's like, great, where's the end of this? There isn't an end.
As far as I know, there was no end. There's just big monsters and more loot.
Did you use the God Finger, or did you fight the Red Dragon?
I fought the Red Dragon.
Okay, I God Fingered it.
I don't know what that means, but it's a great game, right?
That kills him in one hit.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it, but it's coming out on the Switch. I don't think I even finished that. But anyway, it's coming out on the Switch in April, so very soon. So that's kind of a big,
crazy and fun. And
big RPG for the Switch. That's nice.
Yeah.
I equated it to Dragon Age, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
would say Dragon Age, but definitely probably most like Dragon Age, a little more actiony than Dragon Age, I would think. You are fighting just as yourself, and you can be a multitude of different classes. And then you have a pawn assistant, and the pawns are like clones that are just kind of floating around, and you can rent them from your friends or from people that are just also playing the game.
Mm.
You can
very
also send them on quests too. Well, if your pawn gets picked up and used by someone else, then you'll get rewards from what they helped out with.
It's an interesting system. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you had to give it a score comparatively, like action RPG, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
I think it's hard for most casual play, and I would lower it to like a 7 just for that. But for people that dig that kind of game, they're gonna really dig it. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like right in their wheelhouse. So if
And they
you
got on the
like,
Switch.
yeah,
Switch.
Nothing,
Put everything on the
nothing could be
Switch.
wrong with putting anything on the Switch. I
Nope.
think if you put a game on the Switch, you're in the right. As long as it runs good.
yeah. So what's the one game not coming to Switch?
Speaking of something not coming to the Switch that does not run good, PUBG coming to PS4, and you can get it for free if you want to go ahead and buy 12 months of PlayStation Plus right now. Yeah, so their contract with Xbox must have reached its end, and they're like, let's make more money.
That's
and-
about right. It was a timed exclusive around Christmas last year, and I think
Mhm.
that's when it dropped. I mean, is it fair to say that PUBG's kind of not really as relevant anymore?
I've
as
seen
it
a
was?
little bit of a resurgence when they had that new map come out.
But I don't know if that was enough to really. I
It
used to
definitely
see
was not
PUBG on
enough.
every channel, and now I
Definitely
see
not enough.
one or two.
Yeah, but it definitely
Black
had like a
Ops
little bit.
probably
All right.
stole its
Well,
thunder.
The market's starting to get pretty, pretty flooded with a lot of good BRs. So
Yeah.
it's not just PUBG and Fortnite anymore.
No, not at all.
Was there a rumor where Black Ops 4 BR was going to be free at some time?
I don't know about free, but they definitely did just release a version of the game that I believe is just the Battle Royale mode.
Oh,
that
you
is
can
a-
buy it without anything else.
Yeah, that is at
Gotcha.
a discount. It may be Battle Royale and
Discount
multiplayer.
it for $99.99.
Yeah.
Call
Oh,
of Duty is so crazy with their prices.
they are. They are. Moving on from that, we got that that Resident Evil 2 remake that we've seen a little bit at E3 that looks incredible.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're actually this sounds pretty new to me, but they're coming out with what they're calling a one-shot 30-minute demo. And you play for 30 minutes, and after those 30 minutes, you can't play anymore. So, yeah, I don't know if it's like you play 30 minutes and your account's locked for good, or if it's 30 minutes and then you go delete it and re-download it or something. But I think the point of it is you can play 30 minutes of whatever you want in this game within those 30 minutes, but after those 30 minutes, you're done.
I feel like that was a way of doing it. There would be some games, especially like MMOs, where you could get the beta of it and you could play for a fixed period of time and then it would just go away. I want to say WildStar was like that when that came out. I think that was like you got 10 hours or something, and then that was as much as you could play without buying a full copy of the game.
Yeah, and that's coming out, I think, this week, end of this week, maybe.
Cool. Resident Evil is not really my style game, but I know a lot of people love it. So good on all you guys. Hope you enjoy
It
it.
wasn't my type of game either, but that last one, I haven't played the last one, but it definitely piqued my curiosity. I always like to keep up with the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So during this break, right before we left for the little break, we learned about a game called Atlas at the Game Awards that we all thought that sounded pretty amazing. The trailer was pretty hype. It showed really cool stuff in this trailer. And, in that time period, the game got delayed twice. Once, I believe, just a couple hours, maybe even minutes before it was supposedly to launch.
Yeah, 5 o'clock on 12/11.
And it finally came out over this break. And I'm sure if we'd had shows during the break, it'd have been a big topic of discussion. But this game was a pretty big flop in terms of like what they were shooting for.
Well, I think that's tough to say because it's all over my Twitch feed right now.
I mean,
a lot of people are playing it, but it's not what was advertised.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, because they said like 4,000 people could play. You'd have these huge battles, like all these things going, and it doesn't really play quite like that.
No, you get maybe 100 people on a server, and it was lagging really bad at launch with that many people.
Mm-hmm.
Like unplayable amounts of lag. There was a lot of wipes and restarts and all that kind of good stuff. A lot of I know there's some refund stuff going on with it. And there is a big thing that came out where if you plugged a controller in and played, you could access a secret menu that was an Ark menu, and you went into it and it showed DLC, and it showed that you were playing the Ocean DLC for Ark.
Oh wow!
And once that came out, that was quickly removed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Atlas was just a big reskinned version of Ark with pirate stuff.
I don't think anyone would contest that. I mean, it's pretty clear that that's what it's been. They took the mechanics of Ark and said, well, let's put in a different setting. I think that Ocean DLC was not necessarily true DLC for Ark, but just that's how they got it running. At least for their production. I mean, it's an early access game. It's not a $60 game. It's only $29.99. So it is at a lower budget price.
It wasn't Ark that price anyway.
Ark was also super broken when it first came out. Too.
Yeah.
So I would say, rough launch, but given the developer, I'd be curious to see what it looks like in a few months.
Well, here the thing was that most people were upset about is that you could buy. There was a season pass for Ark that would have all the DLCs and everything that came out, and it sold a lot of copies of the season pass. People are thinking that Atlas was originally supposed to be a part of that, and they realized how much money they would lose because of that season pass.
It feels like a full game, though. It doesn't feel like DLC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me. If you look at the, it to me, it doesn't look like, okay, here's a bunch of Ark assets and Ark enemies. I mean, there's no dinosaurs. There's like these huge, leviathans and natural beasts and everything. And there's a lot of, I don't know how much pirate stuff there was in Ark because I never got that far along with it, but it seems like a different game.
Okay. Yeah.
That's as much as I can say on it.
Yeah, that's the tale of Atlas. It's been a curious tale for a game that looked really promising. It definitely was not delivered as advertised.
Yeah, nothing. It looks nothing like the trailer, which looked amazing.
No.
I logged in and played for about an hour.
Oh, you got it.
Died. Yeah, I got it. I died probably 5 times due to exposure. I could not find anything to wear that was to warm me up. And then I went to a tropical area, and everyone was dead and disconnecting, and it was like, okay, it needs to go back on the shelf. I'll pull it down some other day.
Yeah. So maybe they can pull something out of this.
As a community, we have interested people, and we have a channel for it. We also have a lot of Ark players, so they're keeping an eye on it as well. So
sure,
we just hope that it does something.
Yeah, it'll be big. They got to polish it.
Yep.
Nice. So moving on from that, I have just a little couple of tidbits about some Xbox stuff, and that is that Gears Tactic game that was the XCOM like game. It was, I don't know if everybody ever confirmed it being on Xbox, but it is an Xbox and PC game. And then they also said that Gears 5, PUBG, and Sea of Thieves will have mouse and keyboard support on the Xbox.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that that big Razer accessory you talked about before coming out. So yeah, I think it's launched,
and people are pretty happy with it, even though it's fairly pricey. It's a good quality mouse and keyboard, though.
Yeah. You think there'd be, a little bit of an advantage towards those mouse and keyboard players on PUBG?
Yeah.
Say PUBG.
I wouldn't think for Sea of Thieves. I wouldn't think for Gears, but maybe for PUBG.
Gears, yes. Tactics, anything with shooting and a crosshair, we can have advantage.
I don't know. They've always Gears has always had the aim assist.
A little bit, yeah. It has a little snapping. Controller. Yeah.
Because remember, you could kind of hit the bumpers to bounce between people.
Yeah, a little bit. Kinda. I see what you're getting at, though. Yeah, I don't think it'll be too bad in Gears, but definitely I think it'll be
They'll do something to narrow the gap there. They're not going to let people just run around with mice and keyboard and just laser snipe everybody. It's not going to happen. Or maybe it will. But I really don't see that happening if they want the game to succeed.
Yeah. And then this was interesting news to me because we heard at the Game Awards that there's an Epic Store now that is a competitor to Steam, and it's a lot better for publisher or developers and publishers to put their game on Epic because it's not as big as a cut into your profits, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Ubisoft said that the Division 2 will be on the Epic Store instead of Steam.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let this distract you because you still will have to use Uplay. It'll just be like a front for that game.
And that's what happened under Steam too. This isn't really new.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just mean like it's not that big of a deal if you buy it, if you can't buy it on Steam, because even if you bought it on Steam, you hit play and then Uplay launched. Log into Uplay and the game played through Uplay anyway.
Yep.
So to save the middleman, I would just go ahead and buy it on Uplay and
play it on Uplay.
Cut all that mess out.
Exactly.
You can do that. Also, public service announcement is Super Meat Boy is free on the
Epic.
The Epic Games.
They've been giving a lot of good free stuff away.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty decent.
I think so has Discord, because they also have a storefront now that's competing to Steam.
That's right.
So
I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I always wondered when the big competition for that Steam marketplace would finally come around.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be it, but I kind of hoped it would be GOG.
GOG's nice. I don't use their app that much though.
It's really nice. It's curated pretty well. Your library is actually appealing to look at. The publishers' storefronts, I feel like those are, those aren't really great in terms of just the breadth of games, and just that they can't keep you excited, like coming back and checking. Like for Origin, even though EA is a massive company, they've only got maybe like 4 big releases a year. So you're checking every 3 months for a new release, right? On the game or on the storefront. Whereas Steam, there's new games coming out every day.
Yeah.
You might be checking, oh, what's this? What's going on in sale? It's a little stickier. But you definitely don't get that with Origin or even with Uplay.
But Discord has a really big range of gamers and non-gamers that just look at their storefront because it's in the application, and then Epic Games is the only reason why they're competitors is because of Fortnite, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. It's really up to the publishers where they want to go.
Yeah, and they have some like that new game that came out on the Discord store, which is I watched a little bit of it being streamed that last year, sort of like Dead by Daylight, I think. Not Dead by Daylight. The horror game where you run around from monsters. That game.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, maybe it's Dead by Daylight. But yeah, there's like another version, not really another version, but a different type of game in that same genre on Discord only. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Or last summer school year.
Yeah.
Something
so
to
that's
that.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
For the Division 2, Ubisoft also released the PC requirements for each tier of fidelity and FPS for PC. The
game is very demanding. The first one was very demanding.
Yeah.
This one, the range comes from low i5, 4 gigs of RAM. You can still play it to like, ultra 4K with your 2080 Ti, 16 gigs of RAM.
RTX on.
That's right.
Yeah, but there's also a cool yearly stream, maybe bi-yearly. I'm not sure how often they do this anymore.
Well, AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, runs once a year. They also do Summer Games Done Quick, which is I don't even know if I want to call it like a lighter version, because they both run for a week, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They're pretty much the same thing, just different name, different causes, I think.
Yeah, and this one's benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. They had gone over 400,000, I think, late yesterday. I didn't look to see where they were today. But I was watching the Sonic block, which was supposedly one of the most entertaining blocks that they've ever had. There was a streamer, Dr. Fatbody, that was just absolutely had the crowd going crazy as he was doing tricks on Sonic, Sonic 2, I think.
It's almost
Going
a
through
600.
walls.
Yeah,
Almost a
glitching
600
through
right now.
walls and just unfortunately using not family friendly language. So I'm not sure he'll be back, but he definitely got a fan. So I think mission accomplished there. But it was a really really good stream. What you guys have been watching too, right? What's
A
your
little bit.
thoughts?
A little bit. I watched.
I watched.
Any big
Go ahead.
ones you want to call out?
I watched
mean,
the Castlevania block, and lots of glistening there.
I just catch whatever's on whenever
Yeah.
I get sit down at my computer.
And then if I can't get to it, I go to YouTube, watch all the stuff I missed. Sometimes they have highlights, and I love that. But yeah, amazing, awesome stream and
Good cause.
benefit for a cause. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the premier events in games, and it's it's so much fun to watch. It's very entertaining. Only downside I give it is everyone in the crowd has to be like a performer. So you got everyone that's out there trying to dab and stuff and show off for the camera, and it's like, I could do without them. I like listening to the retro music.
It's getting better and better each year, in my opinion. So
Yeah. I mean, and that's just the evolution. I mean, when you've got something that's for a noble cause and all that, it's a good time for it. So I'm glad to see it doing well again this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, also coming off of that, did you happen to catch the Super Mario block?
no.
Did not.
Yeah, well, that's always entertaining. They usually do some races and everything. I think yesterday was the Super Mario Brothers 3 mix, where they do elements of every game up to Galaxy rendered in the Super Mario 3 engine. So they have basically a gameplay from that, and you progress through, starting off with, Super Mario Brothers 1 World 1-1, all the way up to Galaxy. So a whole bunch of like variety. And
They put Odyssey in there though.
no,
Maybe.
no, just up to Galaxy. So up to Galaxy. Well, considering it's free and a ROM hack and everything else, it's not a whole lot they can do there. But that does bring up a interesting point, which I teased a little bit earlier in the stream, that there is a new Super Mario Brothers U launching
Can we
January
put a
11th.
quote around that?
Yeah, well,
New.
it's the name of the title is New Super Mario Brothers U. So I guess we still have to call it new, even though it's a re-release of
How about re-release?
a re-release. It was from the Wii U version, which was a kind of a remaster of the Wii version of New Super Mario Brothers. But I'm kind of gonna look the other way on this because this is just classic Mario. This is just exactly what you're hoping for in a side-scrolling Super Mario Brothers game. And they do include some new twists here. They are including the harder, faster New Super Luigi U, which is a kind of a
DLC
harder difficulty
expansion.
Yeah, I think they said there was over 300 levels in the game, which is a tremendous amount of
It's a lot of
gameplay.
Mario.
That's a whole lot of Mario. And they're also going to be putting out Nabbit and Toadette as playable characters. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was hoping for Bowsette, but
the whole
Oh,
Toadette
boy.
scene. Oh my gosh.
Please.
There's a reason we never brought this up on stream.
right. Or the reveal that toads don't actually have hats. That's
just their heads.
Mindbender.
That's just head meat.
Just their heads, kids. Just their heads.
Wait, so Toadette has hair still coming? Yeah, it's her head. Yeah.
It's a head.
Yep. All right. We solved it, everyone. Right here on the podcast.
We did it.
So transition from super old school to new school. Anthem is coming out very soon. And the demo is coming out even sooner, of course. So there are multiple releases for this game. And I say releases because there's a VIP PC release coming out on February 15th. if you are an Origin Access Premier subscriber.
That's me. Hey, how's it going?
That's right.
Hey,
And I will be doing that. I'll be pre-ordering the game so I can have it after subscribing just for 1 month, so I can get that week early. That's just a strategy for me. I want it a week early. I want to get there. I want to get in there. And for pre-ordering, you get the VIP demo, which takes place on January 25th through 27th. That means pre-order, or if you're on Origin Access or join EA Access, you can get it. And PixelPub is going to be is in the planning phase for this game. We'll most likely be releasing a section for it, before the demo, supporting all platforms.
I want to go ahead and say it. Doing the whole year worth of Origin Access is kind of worth it.
Yeah.
If you plan on buying a couple of EA games. So I think it's $120 for a year, or $100. No, $100 for a year.
$100.
$100 for a year.
$100 for a year. Every EA game. Every game for free.
Oh, really? As part of that?
Yep. As long as you have an active subscription, you can play any new release EA games and non-EA games. I can play Darksiders 3 with access right now.
Wow. What about your soul, though? Isn't it filthy now?
No, I feel pretty good. I mean, my wallet definitely sings to me. He's like, "Thank you for not buying Battlefield 5." Even though I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 5.
Okay.
Thanks to me for not buying Madden, which I played a very little bit of.
You got a lot out of it, right?
And then I'm gonna play Anthem when it comes out.
Yeah. Yep.
So
you're getting your money's worth there.
Yeah, money's worth out of it, that's for sure.
I will not be keeping it. That's just me. I don't see any other games I'm going to be playing. So.
Yeah, I mean, if there's not any other EA games coming out that you're not in, that you're not going to be in playing, it's not worth it.
That's just me.
Yeah. I don't think I could justify that when I've also got the Xbox Game Pass.
Xbox Game Pass is a steal compared to that, though.
Yeah, there's a bunch of value on that, and there, some like brand new launch games are coming out directly there to play. Ashen and Mutant Year Zero. There's a lot of good stuff. So
all the Xbox stuff. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing when I get another Xbox title that I want to play. I'll definitely be dipping my toes back into Game Pass.
Sure.
I definitely think the subscription is definitely the way of the future instead of buying these games.
Yeah, I just think when you have I don't know the best way to say this, but when you have exclusives, then you end up having to have multiple streams. So right now, if you only have Netflix, you're not catching all the TV shows that you maybe want to watch, right? So you end up having to subscribe to a bunch of different things because each one has some of the games you want to play. So we're a little off on that, but maybe I'd like to see it.
Depends on it kind of depends on how many you're willing to buy.
Maybe that's what that new game console will do.
Yeah, maybe. All these fancy new game consoles. The way of the future. So yeah,
you heard about that one, right? There's a fourth party game console that's being released that is supposedly able to play games in 4K 120 frames per second. It's coming out from let's see, it's coming out.
It's not the Soldier Boy console, is it?
No, that one has already been shut down, and Soldier Boy is safely locked away, so everything is happy.
The new Atari
this is called
console.
the Madbox game console.
Okay.
And they have already put out some prototypes and designs and everything, but yeah, they're claiming and promising 4K gameplay, first party games or third party games being supported. So we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah. So,
speaking of crazy rumors, for 2019, there's some analysts that's been talking, and Nintendo Switch Lite or Elite rumors. So that means a possible Switch that is just portable, no dock. Right, that's the Lite version, and then the Elite with a larger screen and more battery life. These are all question marks. These are all, just speculation. But
I wouldn't put it out of question. Nintendo, especially with the 3DS.
Yeah, I was going to say
is notorious for making there's a 3DS, and there was a new 3DS, the 3DS XL,
two 3DS XLs,
new 3DS XL, then the 2DS, then the 2DS XL.
So Nintendo can do this.
Nintendo can do it.
Yeah. Yep. Why not? The Switch is over 2 years old now.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, you are not wrong.
Yeah.
You'll see. And then some other crazy rumors. Elder Scrolls coming out
I
this
think
year.
this is peak craziness for 2019.
Yeah, this is peak. Yeah, because of the Fallout 76 blunder. I don't see this happening.
No.
In my opinion, they should just focus on Fallout 76.
You heard it here first, folks. There will be no Elder Scrolls this year.
Oh man!
But
and if they
what
did,
if
it'd be bad.
What
Not
if
a
they
chance.
did?
Not a chance.
What if we did?
Just
Yeah.
Bethesda just crash. This would be it. That you would kill if you went and ruined Fallout, and in the same 12-month period ruined Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
I don't know that Bethesda could come back from that. That may be it.
I take it back. There is an Elder Scrolls coming out this year. Blades for your phone.
Oh,
Elder Scrolls Blades on
okay.
iOS. But there will
That's
not
fine.
be an Elder Scrolls 6 coming out.
Maybe the
promise
analyst
you.
was right. Yeah.
I promise you that.
And Elder Scrolls. And then some quick D2 news. 3 Forges.
There's news for that game? Is that game still
I know.
playing?
Hey, people still play it. A lot of people play it. I know Rob's yawning right now. It's fine. 3 Forges have been released, and the spoiler. Skip 30 seconds, please.
Oh gosh, don't spoil me.
All right. So skip ahead 30 seconds starting right now.
Aldrin was read.
Oh, hold on. Wait.
by a
Before you do
ghost.
that, I want to tell a
Oh my
story.
goodness.
That will take 29 seconds.
No. Okay, you know Aldrin. He was rest. No details after. It was just a cinematic.
I don't know who that is.
Aldrin. Guy that killed Cade. Shot him in the face. What?
I haven't played the expansion.
Oh, you're not going to play it anyway. That's fine.
I
But
might.
that leaves a lot to the story. That's all. And then just saying D2's song with PixelPub. If you need the clan people to play with, we got
That's
you
good.
covered.
I'm glad that there's at least a community out there still playing Destiny 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Cade
a-
got killed?
He's dead.
Oh, okay.
That was in a trailer for Forsaken that came out like a year ago.
Dead
Right.
Rooney.
I was just teasing.
I've been toying with the idea of maybe getting Forsaken and playing a little bit, but
Don't do it.
it hasn't quite hit that sell marker where I want it to hit.
Oh, I thought
Anthem's
you were going to
coming
do it
out.
because you're disappointed in
okay.
the monetization. It just wasn't making enough on the Eververse.
I didn't want to bring up D2 for conversation.
But
It's coming out. It's fine.
Oh, we give you such a hard time.
I know. Movies.
Don't worry, there'll be another annual
TV.
pass.
Go.
Yeah, so one of the really cool TV news that's kind of come out here recently is that I don't know if you noticed during New Year's Eve, if you watch any of those New Year's Eve, Rockin' Eve, or any of those news channels, bringing it in New Year type thing, in Times Square there was actually some screens that had like a fake news channel reporting from Hawkins, from the Stranger Things stuff, and I think after the ball dropped, I think they actually played like a trailer or something for Stranger Things season 3, and announced that it's coming out on July 4th.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. I really like it. I hope season 3 is as good as the previous 2.
Yep. So yeah, and it looks like the show will be taking place during that time frame as well. So that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, they got to keep it going. I just at some point those kids are going to grow up and be too old to play
Yeah.
that, but they're still young enough where they're in that good range.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Harry Potter went from for.
Well, they're going to be fighting, the Demogorgon and puberty.
And puberty. I can't imagine what like weird like puberty you go through when you've been like experimented on by
In
the
the upside
government. And the upside down puberty. Oh no.
What?
It's not going to be good.
Oh, kids don't ever have upside down puberty. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so there's that coming out. And then of course, because it was the holidays, we had lots of movies come out.
Yeah,
Lots of
a
movies.
surprising number.
One of which I still haven't seen. But I'm holding out for it because I've heard it's actually not too bad, and that's Bumblebee. Maybe I'll watch it before next episode.
Oh, that's
about it.
out.
Yeah.
It's out, and it's got decent reviews.
Yeah. Decent
Um,
for a Transformer film, anyway.
Oh, it's like a masterpiece compared to the other Transformers in terms of its reviews. I want to say it's like in the mid 70s.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes it the Citizen Kane of Transformers.
Citizen Kane of Transformers and Michael Bay films. Yes. Yep. But I'm gonna start with Rob's favorite movie of the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Aquaman.
All right.
So if you don't know, this movie's doing really well right now.
Yeah,
Comparatively to other DC films.
box office is very good outside of the States.
Mhm.
China,
I think it's
it.
already beat Wonder Woman, which was
Yep.
DC's previous big movie.
Yeah, Aquaman is very popular overseas. A lot of action. You know, it's that kind of
It's
movie.
pretty
like,
popular under the seas too.
yeah, sure.
Oh, he's on it.
He is.
Oh man. But yeah, so we'll give a little bit of review of that because I've also seen it. So when I heard they're making an Aquaman movie, I thought to myself, that movie's gonna suck. When I seen the trailer for Aquaman, I said, that movie's gonna suck. That movie is as good as it gets for an Aquaman movie. I'll give it that.
Hey.
They definitely figured out how to channel their inner Marvel with this movie. It's not the Dark Knight series. This is definitely Aquaman inspired by Marvel movies. So but you know, they also did that with Justice League, but not very good. So this at least is better than that. I do think the movie had a little bit of a jumbled storytelling. It was a little confusing sometimes.
Say.
You know, like I said, it's doing better than Wonder Woman. I don't think it's as good as Wonder Woman, but I definitely say it is one of the better recent DC movies compared to
I don't
the
think
other
Wonder
ones.
Woman was as good as Wonder Woman thought it was. If that makes sense.
I agree. I agree with you there. After
Wonder Woman was decent, but the end of it was just a CGI like sludge fest, and I was really disappointed it ended like that after being so cool all the way through.
I agree.
Similar thoughts on Aquaman.
Yeah, but definitely better than Aquaman. Though. I think Wonder Woman is definitely better. I think this movie is very fun. It's a very fun family movie that if you have kids and who love superheroes, this is definitely a great movie to take them to.
You think so? So I also went and saw this movie, paid my hard-earned money to go watch a cinema film, and you know, I'd be lying if I said I was surprised by how dumb it was, but I wasn't. I knew it was going to be big dumb fun, and I think I would have been more on board if it had been big dumb fun and it was like an hour and 45 minutes.
How long
This
is it?
clocks in at 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it feels like a 2.5 hour long movie. It never stops. Even when it should have.
There's definitely 30 minutes that I could pinpoint out that they should have cut from the movie.
There's at least 30 minutes.
Does not involve water. It involves lots of running through walls and doors. Very reminiscent of a scene from Winter Soldier.
I think if you do that, you got to cut that out that entire villain. And he was actually the only person I liked in the movie.
He was a very awkward villain, I think.
He weird looking because he
had very questionable motives, I think.
Yeah. Well, sure. Oh yeah, it's one of those. So without getting into any kind of spoilers,
it's hard
Aquaman
to go.
does something not entirely heroic, and it becomes the worst thing anyone's ever done to this particular guy.
You put yourself in a
situation. His entire life killing and murdering people, and Aquaman's the one at fault for everything that goes wrong. So anyway, it's one of those Hollywood leaps of faith in terms of how the
motivations
go, and it made no sense. It wasn't compelling, but he himself was actually a fairly good villain, and that was Black Manta. I think there was some decent supporting cast. It was good to see Dolph Lundgren again, even with red hair. That was interesting.
He played a pretty good underwater king.
Yeah, he was fine. He's not known for being a good actor, and he was not a good actor in this, but he was fun for this, you know. Yeah. The leads though just aren't really good actors. That's Amber Heard and Jason Momoa.
You like him better when he's like not speaking English and sitting on a throne.
It made sense when he was Khal Drogo. I think if Khal Drogo was like up there giving speeches all the time, like Game of Thrones would have ended with the first season. That would have been it. Yeah, you know, he's like good to look at. Like he's a handsome fella and he's big and strong and, you know, huge muscles and stuff and all that. And Brandon's realizing
I just thought of a line in the movie, and this line that I just thought of in the movie made me drop the score a whole
permission to come aboard.
Permission to come aboard. That exact line just made me drop the whole score.
Everyone groaned and then clapped. It was a tough movie to watch at points, and yeah, it was really corny. So, I knew what I was getting going in. I was hoping it wasn't gonna feel that long. The best parts of the movie for me was the sharks fighting the lobsters, and I was hoping that would be like a half-hour scene.
That was kind of surprising to me because I thought it was really cool. I thought it was going to be sharks versus seahorses, according to the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the surprise lobster fight at the end there. So, spoiler alert: there's a lobster fight.
There's a lobster fight. That part is cool, but it only lasts for about 5 minutes.
I'll give it a little credit. It might have been like 15.
No, that's when the...
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're right.
That's when the shrimp comes out.
The shrimp?
Yeah, and when you fight the shrimp, that's a little bit harder.
It sounds like a delicious platter.
It was very hard to follow anything after about 5 minutes.
When you left this movie, you kind of went, where's the nearest Red Lobster at?
Right.
Exactly. All right, but Brandon, you start off with this, so give us your final thoughts on it and score.
Overall, I was going to say 7 out of 10, but because of permission to come aboard within the first 15 minutes of the movie, I'm going to drop it down to a 6 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back at it, that was wow. That line that kind of set the pace for the movie as well. But others I went and watched this film with, Blaze included, was like, I love this movie. That movie was great. And my wife also loved this movie, but I think she had ulterior motives for liking this movie.
Yep. Pictorial reasons.
Yeah, pictorial reasons. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for, 6 out of 10 for me.
But you know,
I think there was half a good movie in here, and if the movie had been half as long, it probably would have been like a 7 or 8 because it would have been like nice and crisp and like kind of moving along. But there was some good action scenes. There was a lot of fun to be had, but then there would be a whole lot of just boring nothing going on.
I was just going to pee on it.
Yeah, I could just peed on it. And just no chemistry between the leads. So between everything that you look at there, they just had too much time that they couldn't really fill. So
yeah,
they could have cut an hour out of it and it would have been stronger and tighter for it. And instead they decided to make it an epic, and it really didn't deserve to be. Outside of the gigantic lobster at the end, there's not a whole lot else to write home about. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. That's what you think it is. It's not one that you're going to go back and watch over and over again. I can't imagine watching it again, to be honest.
No, I'm going to agree with you on that one. But I will buy it, though, because I'm a sucker for buying Blu-rays. What the camera is not pointing to is my massive collection of Blu-ray discs over in the other far side of the corner that we're not going to talk about. But I do want to talk about, before we jump into this other movie that's on Netflix, I want to talk about a good superhero movie that was very surprising to me. I want Rob to talk about it.
Sure. So, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh this holiday season. So he taketh by making me go watch Aquaman, but he also giveth by allowing me to trick my wife into going and seeing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I couldn't trick my wife into this one. This one was a me and Blaze duo movie.
Well, hopefully you guys have found a newer, deeper appreciation for each other, because you watched a movie that's rated at a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the highest rated movie of the year.
The highest rated superhero movie.
Highest rated, I think, all movie of the year.
I mean, like superhero movie ever.
Oh yeah. Potentially one of the highest rated ever of superheroes. But I'm saying for the year, it might be the highest rated Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, maybe
given out.
97's high.
Yeah. So what you got here is just absolutely beautiful animation. I mean, I couldn't believe the way they made this stuff look like. So In the Spider-Verse is a movie about Spider-Man. It's animated. It's kind of a rights keeper type of movie is what it was originally looking like. But they utilize this really cool like comic book animation where everyone looks like they're a comic book character.
It looked like a comic book page, like it was animated.
Yeah. If you could put like just push pause right in the middle of the movie theater, it would look like a comic book page, like frozen in time.
Yeah.
Like it would be like perfectly set up for that. But I think even more than just the fact that it looked amazing, and there was some really great scenes. You probably, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the part where Miles Morales is like falling down off a building, kind of just diving down, but then they kind of reverse the angle and he's like shooting up, kind of ascending. There's a lot of that kind of imagery that's just absolutely incredible looking.
Failing forward.
Yeah. There is surprisingly some mature themes that are handled in a very sensitive way for kids to digest.
There's one pretty shocking scene, in my opinion.
Well, there's a number. Well, I mean, you know,
one in
someone gets
particular.
shot. Are you talking about when someone gets shot?
Yes.
I was thinking when it was, slight spoiler, one of the characters wanted to commit suicide.
Trying to think back on that one.
Yeah, that was.
Keep talking. I'll think about it.
Yeah. It's one of them. You know. So anyway, so lots of serious things are being discussed. Basically, there's a character that has lost his will to live and has decided that he no longer needs to really. He's not sure what else there is because he's lost everything in the place where he's from. And at the end of the movie, you know, he's, you know, kind of setting himself up to be like the martyr. And it's, you know, it's done. It's handled very well in that, you know, lives matter, things are important. You know, you got to keep living for, you know, the future and everything. So it's really done in a way that's appropriate without getting too dark. Great message overall, just that, you know, anyone can kind of rise to the occasion to become, you know, better than they are, to handle different situations. Really try not to spoil certain things, but I think you can kind of see where this is going. Yeah. It's also like crazy funny too. Nicolas Cage is one of the voices in the movie.
That was surprising for me.
Spider-Man Noir, and he was absolutely fascinated with his Rubik's Cube. He's never seen color before. So,
he couldn't see color. The Rubik's Cube was all the same color for him.
Right. Yeah. He could never solve the Rubik's Cube because it was all the same color. It's just these little bits that they put together. Yeah, I'd put in here probably the best Spider-Man movie yet, but I would say even just maybe the best superhero movie. It clocks in about an hour 40. It's not that long of a movie. It just keeps going. It's fast paced.
I think it's probably detrimental to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's points where it's going too fast, but I think it makes sense because it's written by the Lord and Miller guys, the ones that did the Lego movie. So if you're familiar with the Lego movie, Lego Batman, you know what you're getting into with Spider-Verse. So, yeah, just a fun, well-made, and just very easy to watch. I could see myself watching this over and over again, and I got a little kid that's gonna certainly grow up watching this movie and loving it because I love it. And I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. It's just because it's so frenetic. I'm like, it needs to slow down just a little bit at points to really let the story sink in because they gloss over some things, but it's handled so well. And I just want to know when it became understood that there's multiverses. Like everyone understands that there's multiverses and people can just jump through them.
Yeah. I mean, that was like a big point they hammered in that movie, actually.
But
yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10 for the reasons Rob was kind of talking about, it being a little too fast paced. It glosses over some things. I would have rather sat and watched Spider-Verse for 2.5 hours than having it be that expanded that long than Aquaman.
They could have made that a 2.5 hour movie, but I would have preferred probably like 2 of those movies because it is so fast and it's kind of draining by the time you're done.
If they would have slowed it down and maybe expanded a little bit on some things, I think there's some things they could have expanded on.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on some of the villains? They had some not just like gender bends, but totally different villains and different styles of Spider-Man. If you haven't seen the trailer or not familiar, I mean, it's all over the place, but Spider-Ham is in the movie.
Yeah, Spider-Ham. There's only one. I don't know. The other villain, I wasn't too sure who that villain was. So
you have the Prowler.
That was the one. I wasn't too.
Yeah, he's a longtime Spider-Man villain. It's played by the guy. In the movie Homecoming, that was played by Daniel Glover.
Is he supposed to be the Prowler in Homecoming?
Donald Glover. Yeah, he's supposed to be the Prowler.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't really get to do anything, but if you notice, he was the guy kind of boosting some stuff.
Yeah, because he says his uncle or his nephew, Miles.
Yep. Yep. So it's the same
Interesting.
thing.
We
Obviously,
sure-
Miles
did we
Morales-
establish his name in that movie? I can't remember. I need to go
Who's
back and watch.
It's Aaron.
I need to go back and watch.
Yeah.
I think they released this movie at a perfect time. People are playing Spider-Man. They beat it.
Mhm.
This movie comes out. It also combats Aquaman. I don't know. Marvel seems to be doing everything right.
Sure.
Oh, this is Sony. This is not at Marvel.
Oh, it's Sony.
Well,
Oh, wow.
It is Marvel. Marvel had
Did Marvel saying this? I thought it was purely Sony.
Marvel helped produce, and this is based on a Marvel series by Brian Michael Bendis, who's a famous writer for Marvel, now a DC writer. He came back and kind of helped with the screenplay on it. But essentially, it's about the multiverse of Spider-Mans and how they all come together. Did you stay for the stinger afterwards?
I did.
Did you crack up on that one?
I did.
That was they had the meme of Spider-Man pointing at himself.
That was
They
great.
did that in as a stinger. Spider-Man from the future. He comes back. He's like,
It's
"Hey,
about
dear,
2077 or something.
2099.
2099.
Spider-Man 2099 goes back in time, and he's like, "Hey, you're like me." And he's
Goes to
pointing at him.
70s Batman or Spider-Man. 70s Spider-Man.
Yeah, just pointing at each other.
They know.
Like, no, that was great.
Yeah, it was. There was something there for everybody. That's especially Spider-Man memes.
Yep. New Spider. I haven't seen this meme take off yet. I'm wondering why.
You haven't seen what?
I haven't seen that meme like take off, like replace the old version. I want it to
No,
replace.
I don't
the
know.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah,
It will once it comes on video where people can get it.
that's true.
Otherwise, you have to like be recording it in the movie or pirating it.
I'm just doing it for memes. I promise.
All for the memes.
All
They
for
had a
memes.
little sequence in the end credits where it had Spider-Man sitting at a desk with a picture of Spider-Man behind him. It was just all the stuff that you see in the memes or
Yeah.
the where it was on display there. It was pretty great.
It's a good movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about another movie. This was not at your local cinema or your theater. This was
Am I doing this right?
you're dead.
Yep.
This is perfect. I don't know if you guys have watched this movie, but Bird Box came out on Netflix. Sandra Bullock, all that good stuff. This time she is not a taking in a kid that plays football. This time she is having kids in the apocalypse.
So still blind, just
Yeah,
in a different way.
different kind of blind. It's not the side; it's the whole thing's blind.
Right.
But yeah, it's a different take of the apocalypse. The premise of the movie is that if you see the monsters, they compel you to kill yourself or you die, that kind of thing.
Oh, like the Quiet Place, where if
Sort of
They
quiet
hear
places. If you hear you, they kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of. So yeah, like it is very similar to a movie called The Happening and The Quiet Place. But I kind of want to put a little side note to this. It was actually it's a film adaptation of a book that was written before both of those movies ever came out. And unfortunately for the author of the book, he actually wanted to make it a film. And then once those other films started coming out, it was one of those, oh, if I do it now, I'm definitely going to seem like I'm copying these guys. So it got shelved and passed to Netflix, and we're just now getting it in 2018.
you have done nothing for the movie by saying it's similar to The Happening. The Happening is up there as one of the worst all-time movies ever made.
I just mean in like the premise.
Yeah, so it's considered M. Night Shyamalan's worst movie.
Wait,
And
Airbender
he's-
is the worst? I thought.
Oh, you got to change that list up a little bit, Rob.
I thought it was After Earth.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and there's that one.
He's had some stinkers.
He's had some bad movies. But anyway, back to that. The movie is kind of told in what I would call like a flashback way of telling it, where it starts in modern day and it goes back in time, cuts back to modern day, and it goes back in time again, and kind of just sets up what's going on in the present.
You know what
I could
that's
break
called?
it. Huh?
It's called in media res.
That is
Actually,
cool.
a technical term for it.
In media res. Well, that's
I know
what
that
it is.
because that's how Daredevil starts with Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, when he's all shot up
it's been
on
a
top
long
of the
time
church,
since I'm in that movie.
and then it flashes back.
But yeah, or John Wick. John Wick starts like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does all that. I would say the first two acts of this movie are really great. The third one is kind of where it loses its punch, and it's a little kick. There's a couple time jumps that you have to be really paying attention to and noticing that time is progressing, because it doesn't tell you that when it goes into flashbacks. You could assume it was the next day, but it's definitely a couple weeks or even months after it goes back. And they don't tell you that. Overall, for a Netflix film, pretty decent movie, and it is very popular. Tons of the memes. It's all over Twitter, Reddit, all that good stuff. Overall, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. So not too shabby.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I may take a look. A little hesitant to watch some of these Netflix movies. I've been burned by so many.
Don't
so
expect
many that we love
anything.
and trust to tell us good.
Don't expect anything great out of this movie, but I would definitely say it's a little entertaining.
I have to see what Thrust thinks about it. If he recommends it, I'll make sure.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
watch it.
Thrust. I haven't heard from my good old buddy Thrust. We should probably not take his recommendations.
Oh, come
good
on.
as you.
Come on.
We love you, Thrust. Just kidding.
But that's kind of it for me. That's kind of all I had to bring to the table this week.
Yeah, and I think we're probably pretty close on time, but it's
that's
been
about
good. Good being back.
Yep. So, Andrew, do you want to do a little promotion?
Absolutely.
Even though I know you're hearing voices in your head, so
I am hearing voices, my own. But yeah, that's just technical stuff. But for thank you for the reviews. I'll be watching Aquaman on Redbox.
Sure.
I'll be watching Birdbox for the memes.
Look forward to it.
Spider-Man, I will be watching 100%. So, but PixelPub, yeah, we're a gaming community. Strives to provide all gamers the best in social gaming, in and out of game, and we have over 18,000 members.
Whoa!
We have hit 18,000, now going over well into it, and we have a lot of games, more games coming. Destiny 2, Warframe, MapleStory 2, Black Ops, Rocket League, Anthem's coming, Division 2's coming, Borderlands 3? Question mark?
They're coming out with a Borderlands 1 and 2 on PS4 and Xbox One, a remaster again.
Remaster, ooh.
How
That'd
would
be
they
nice.
even do that?
Nice. So, yeah,
It's already like on PC.
it's on everything, right?
They
The
already released
bundles
the
and
Handsome
everything.
edition with everything else. So what are they going
I think that
Handsome
Handsome was 2, and then
all
like
of them.
The pre-sequel.
Did Handsome have one? I don't think Handsome had one.
I don't think it had one. Yeah, I think you're right.
Hold on.
I think so. I think it was just the
You go
pre-sequel and
ahead.
2.
I'll investigate this.
While he's
But anyway.
investigating, while he's doing that, I just have to say some news. We made a very big change to Discord. Once you enter, if you're a new person, you choose what sections you wish to see. All right, and then if you're a current member, you're unaffected. So special thanks to the staff for the help with that project. It's good. It's a nice, clean UI, user interface, and easy way of getting the sections you want to see. We also relaxed the filter in Discord. Yeah,
You say
we did.
relax, but when I try to go post the link to the stream, Dinobot said no.
We had to get rid of spam, but yeah, that's just one thing. But be respectful, follow the rules, and be fine. And then we are developing a new website this year.
Breaking news.
That's right. For now, you can visit our current website, pixelpubgaming.com, pixelpubgaming.com, for all the updates, Discord invite, information regarding our community. All right, you do that.
Don't forget about the merch. Andrew's
yeah.
Andrew's actually wearing a shirt today?
Oh wow.
Wow. We are slacking. I'm actually wearing a Millennium Falcon shirt.
I wore mine on vacation. Still in the laundry.
But yeah, cool. Good stuff. So I guess
Very
that's
good.
going to be it for us then. But yeah, I'm glad everybody's here. Glad you're listening. Like, share, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your family.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some feedback. Hang out with us in Discord. Talk to us there. Leave some comments and whatever you're
Play
watching.
Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel in your Handsome collection.
Just those two. That's right.
Just those two. I could have sworn.
But yeah, all those good things. And we'll talk to you guys next week. See you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.